Hello, my name is Steven. I am the game director for Slightly Mad Studios on the Project Cars 2 game. Project Cars as a brand, as a franchise, is a simulation of what it is like to be a motorsport driver, a racing driver in the world of motorsport. That's what the game is all about at the end of the day. Okay, so we do everything we do so that we can simulate that experience. Now with Project Cars 1, we implemented a bunch of cool stuff to make that happen and make that feel authentic. With Project Cars 2, we added a bunch of new stuff and we improved most everything of what we had in Project Cars 1. For example, with Project Cars 2, we have a far more detailed weather system simulation. We simulate details about the weather that's never been done before to this level in any game, in any simulation. We do an accurate simulation of the planet, if you will, and the solar system and the movement of the sun and stars, and how rainfall works and how water runs down hills and how puddles form, how snow affects the vehicle when it falls. We do all of this because these are the sort of hazards, if you will, that real-world race drivers encounter. And when they are out there racing, they are constantly thinking about these sort of things. They constantly consider how the weather is affecting their cars, how the changes to the track surface because of the environmental changes, because of the time of the year, because of the season. All of these things, how that affects the handling of the car and how they have to plan their race. It all plays into it. It makes the strategy. It adds to that, and it adds so much depth to the experience. So we simulate all of this in Project Cars 2 that nobody else does. And this is a whole big step up over Project Cars 1 as well. We also have a much more improved physics model, including the tire model is dramatically improved over how it was in Project Cars 1. And this helps to make the game more accessible because of the new level of authenticity that we have in the tire model. The tires behave far more realistically when you push the car too far and you go over the limit. There's a much more progressive slip curve, which means when the car goes sideways, you can drift it much easier. Just hold it there and bring it back again. And this was a very important thing for us to get right because we added a new motorsport called Rallycross. Now in Rallycross you spend a lot of time going sideways. So we wanted to make sure that we nail that you can actually play it properly. And we also wanted you to be able to do that on a gamepad. So this is another area we've improved dramatically, is in the accessibility of Project Cars 2 for people who play with a gamepad, which is going to be a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be sitting on their couch with their game consoles. All they're going to do is pop the game in, pick up the pad and they want to play. So we spent a lot of time to make sure that they have a pleasant experience right out of the box, that it's fun to play straight out of the box. So on the multiplayer side, we've added new features. We added a ranking system. So this tracks how you play, and then it ranks you based on that, and your rank changes over time. There's a graph system where it tracks it, and you can see how that's being tracked in the game itself. So it tracks, for example, how you drive, whether you're a clean driver or whether you smack into other cars, whether you do a lot of cheating like cutting the tracks, whether you quit the race before you're done, all sorts of things like this, whether you drive backwards because you think it's funny and wreck the race for everybody. And it uses the system then to matchmake you with other players who race online, and then more and more you'll find yourself automatically playing with people who play the game like you do. We have a reasonably big team. It's a very small team compared to some of the other guys out there, but there's still like 100 odd people working on the game at any point in time. And we have dedicated track team, we have dedicated vehicle team, and so on. And we have specific people that we then assign to go out to various locations. Because of the way our company is structured, we have people working all over the world anyway. So more often than not, we have people close already to a major racetrack or access to a specific car, and so on and so on. It's been important, though, for myself to get hands-on experience with some of the types of motorsports that we simulate, because as the director, I need to make sure that the implementation that we end up with in the game is accurate to the real one. And I can't really do that if I'm not completely familiar with the real one. So I did get to go out to some of the major events like IndyCar racing out at Long Beach as an example, or rallycross events in Europe. it's very important for us to get this sort of hands-on experience. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a way for us to judge whether the implementation that we release is accurate or not. So, first and foremost, our goal is to make multiplayer fun through the implementation of this ranking system and many other things. The way that it's just playable online should be fun, and that should always be the first key reason why people keep on playing, why people come back to the game. And get friends to come play the game, is because it's fun online. It's a good, fun, clean experience, or it's the sort of experience that you want to have online. Secondly, to add and to help with that, we have big support for esport, but not only for professional arranged esport, also just for amateur esport. If you and your friends want to run an esport series, you can do that, and we provide you with all the tools built into the game. So right from day one, whether you play on Xbox, on PlayStation, or PC, the tools to set up an esport experience is built into the game. You can invite people to come race with you, and then you can invite somebody to be the broadcaster. He gets a different view of the experience. He manages the cameras. He decides which car the cameras are pointed to at any point in time. You can have a shoutcaster and stream the game out there to many people watching you if you want, or just to your circle of friends. And you can do that everything from within the game. And then in addition to that, we also have community events, which we push out, typically a new one on a weekly basis, and these are challenges to everybody else out there to come and take part in. And then typically with those ones, we have prizes, we have awards that are being given by our sponsors. We have good relations with many of the hardware vendors out there, and we often get sponsor offers from them where they will put prizes up, and then whoever wins or finishes in the top 3 of these community events, they get sent some, maybe it's a graphics card, or maybe it's a steering wheel, whatever the case may be. So yes, we have these incentives on top of the game just being fun, to keep people competitive and pushing themselves harder to be better and better and try to be the best out there. Project Cars 2 is coming out on September 22nd, and it will be released on PlayStation 4, on Xbox One, and on PC. Please get out there, pick it up, come play with us online, and let's have some good fun together.